trying to get everybody to come on, especially like to try to get you to come on, because I knew you were very difficult to get to being on media yourself. So it wasn't something that we were like thinking, like we held out hope that you would actually do it.
Oh heck no! I love podcasts, man.
Oh,
That's
do you
all I
really?
listen to. Yeah, I only listen to podcasts. Like when I'm out mowing my lawn, I'm driving my car.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always looking for stuff to listen to.
Oh well, then listen to ours.
Yeah, I am. I'm subscribed to you.
Top of the list.
So if you can move that just a little bit
A
closer.
little closer.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we're already kind of recording.
Excellent.
So we're here with Cody Stark of CBS.
Hi.
CBS Good Day Sacramento.
Yes.
BJ, you want to go right ahead?
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how you got started with the news.
I backed into this like nobody's business. Like when they, like schools will go, "Hey, will you come talk to us about how you got into television?" And I'm like, "You don't want me to do this." So, okay, this is a true story. So I grew up in rural Alabama, like rural Alabama. It's
wow.
It's called McCalla, and there's like twice as many people as there were cows. It's like 500 cows and twice as many people. And I never, when I watched television, nobody looked like me and nobody sounded like me.
Yeah.
So they had southern accents, everybody talked like this, and where I'm from. And the people on television, they all look perfect and they're all skinny and they all had Midwestern non-accent accents. I just never thought that that's something I could do. And then when I was in first grade, my first grade teacher, she kept up with how many books she would read. And I read 1,114 books and I lost my accent.
No.
It's crazy. Yeah. So all these people I grew up with were like, "You talk funny," and I'm like, "I
you talk funny."
Yeah. So when you read proper English, when you're that young, you lose your accent.
That's trippy.
So now I've got no accent. So I'm wandering around. So I'm going to Auburn University, and I flunked out because I didn't have enough money. And I guess they wanted the checks not to bounce.
That's true.
And I went to this small community college down in South Alabama, and I was taking a PR class, and the teacher said, "You're really funny. You should be a DJ." And she goes, "You got a nice voice. You don't have an accent for a guy from Alabama. You should be a DJ." And I said, DJs are obnoxious. I don't want to do that. She goes, No. There's a guy with this small AM radio station in Foley, Alabama. Now I'm living in Mobile at the time, and Foley, Alabama is like 10 miles from Gulf Shores, so it's like right there on the beach. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So I go down there, and a very nice man gives me this job. I have no idea what I'm doing, and he gives me this job, and
That's
it was
the
like
best.
it was like Craigslist on radio. It was called the Trading Post, and for 4 hours.
What time of the day?
Oh, it was like noon, 9 to noon, and then
Okay.
we did another one 2 to 5.
That's
or
not
something like
bad.
that. Yeah.
That's not, okay.
And so basically, I would just sit there, and people would call in. They'd go, "I got a fridge for sale." And I go, "Okay, what kind of refrigerator is it?" And they go, "Well, it ain't a refrigerator; it's a fridge, And so I would interview them about it, and not knowing what I was doing. It was really the greatest, teaching
I would listen to
lesson.
that. I would so listen
It was
to that just for the
amazing.
ludicrous stuff.
It was the worst, but yet the best radio you ever hear. Like people would call up and go, I get chickens for sale," and I'd have to say, "I'm sorry, we can't sell poultry on the air." And then they would argue with me. They're like, "I ain't got poultry, I got chickens, man." And I'm like,
You and your college education.
So I did that for like 6 months, and I was moving to England. I was dating a British girl. My life is weird, but so I was
awesome.
dating
You met a
girl.
British girl in Alabama?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
See, I'm all over the place. in
That's
this
all
story.
right.
That's all right.
I used to be a Jungle Cruise skipper, and that's where I met the
Oh
British
my
girl.
gosh.
We'll get back to that. So the guy at the radio station was like, "Hey," he goes, "if you work with me through Christmas, I'll send your tape up to my buddy in North Alabama who owns a TV station." He goes, "You're really funny. You should be a weatherman." And I told him, I said, the only people I have less respect for than DJs is weather people. So I moved to England.
You're like
I worked,
falling upward,
Oh yeah,
essentially.
and it's so ridiculous. So I moved to England after I worked for him as long as he needed me to work, and I turned in my notice and I moved to England. And this guy kept calling my parents' house in North Alabama and they're like trying to get a hold of me. My parents didn't like for the fact that I was never coming back. I was never coming back. And so I finally called the guy. His name is Lincoln Williams, And I said, Mr. Williams, who you're looking for? And he goes, oh, yeah, you come highly recommended. And I said, well, thanks. And he goes, so I don't have an on-air job, but I know you like those funny feature stories. So I would take my audio recorder out and do feature stories on the radio when I had a chance. He goes, they're very funny, and I think a smart guy like yourself, I'll give you a camera, and you can go out and do them funny stories. But I don't have a job per se. I have a teleprompter job.
Yeah.
And you can start there, but a smart guy like yourself could, work your way up. I said, okay. And he says, well, can you come in for an interview on Thursday? And I said, and this is like Tuesday. And I said, I was like, Mr. Williams, I'm sorry, I'm in London. And he goes, London, Kentucky? And I'm like, no, not that one.
The other one.
Yeah.
The one it's named after.
Literally, I flew back and got this teleprompter job, and then 1 year and 2 months later, I was the news director of people that I ran the teleprompter for.
Wow.
It was like the weirdest, dumbest, should not happen kind of thing. Don't tell children this is how to do your career,
Right.
But it just kind of fell into it, and then, it's kind of fun, Now I do weather, and I host, and I do live shots, and ADD. It's all over the place.
That's awesome.
You've actually, what was your favorite segment that you've done? Segment that you've done?
Segment that I've done. Okay, I got a good one for you. So at one point, I was in Kentucky, and they would give me a camera and a car and just let me drive, right? And then just drive until you find a story. So one day I was driving down this little lonely country Kentucky road, and I'm going down the road, and I'm late to get back to the station. I'm really tired, and I see this sign on this guy's mailbox, and the sign says, "Cream candy, it's good." Now, you two know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, so I see the sign, and I get to like 4 houses down, and I'm like, oh, damn it, what does it mean? So I can tell both of you would have stopped, too.
Oh, I would have turned around and knocked on his door.
I did. I stopped the car, and I turned the car around, knock on the door, and this guy creaks open the door. And he looked like Gollum. I swear to God. He was bald, and he had pointy little ears, and he's missing a bunch of teeth and stuff. And I said, sir, I'm sorry to bother you, but you had a sign underneath your mailbox. It says, cream candy, it's good. Why do you have a sign? And he goes, looks at me with this toothless grin, and he goes, because it is good. And I was like, damn it. So I go back, get my equipment and stuff, and we sit down, and he starts telling me the story, and he goes, my daughter makes this cream candy. And it's basically sugar and cream. I mean, that's all it is in it. He goes, it's so good. I tell her she should be selling it all over the place. And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, this is my Nike Just Do It campaign. And he goes, you wouldn't believe the idiots that stop and ask me about this sign. And I'm like, yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would. Right here.
So I do this whole story, and I wait to the very end to try it. So I wrap it up, and like, for WBKO, I'm Cody Stark, and I put the candy in my mouth. And I smile and I go, I'll be damned. It is good. Yeah. That's one of my favorites.
Is that why he was toothless, essentially? I mean,
probably. All it's sugar. It tasted like, I don't know how she congealed it. I don't want to know. But it was basically sugar and cream, and somehow in some sort of hard form,
It's probably like in that Sean Connery movie when they're trying to find the cure for cancer. And it's just a bunch of like old ladies in the back like spitting into the cup. What's the name of that movie? Damn, I always do that.
I can't remember.
The movie was. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't
movie.
remember, but I know what you're talking about.
So that's how I get started. It's a ridiculous, horrible story, and I should never repeat that to kids.
It's
They
pretty
need to go to
pretty
school,
funny.
They need to study.
You actually did a segment at my daughter's school.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago. It was for the fashion show.
Oh, yes.
So you were there, and I wanted to catch you, but I couldn't get out of work in time to catch you there. But if you look back on the video, my daughter is the one facing the other direction and not paying attention to the fashion show.
That was so great. So they made fashion stuff out of recycled materials.
Right.
And then, like, we're covering this, right? And it was so great. The kids look great. Clearly the parents put some time into this. And you all should have got A's, parents, because you did a fine job. I feel like when I'm doing projects with my son, I'm like, what, we got a B? We got
that's
a B?
it?
'Cause that was A level.
I'm calling that teacher up right now.
We worked hard on that. But they're all dressed up so cute. And then they to do the fashion show, they turned the lights off, and then they had like this crazy runway music. And these are like, how old's your kid?
She's 4.
4. Yeah, so they're 4 to 6 years old.
That would freak a
And they had,
4-year-old out.
Oh no, they gave them flashlights, and they're like shining the flashlight like it was a rave, man. It was so fun. It was
Were
so
they
much
passing
fun.
pacifiers around
Yeah,
and
exactly.
glow sticks?
Everybody needed water.
Where's that cream candy?
Yeah, if you go back on the video, she's the only one facing the other way.
And talking
only
to the
one.
teacher's like reprimanding her in the
Yeah,
background.
the teacher's like, turn around. You can see her like, teacher's like doing the swirly thing, and I'm like, yep, that's my daughter.
That's my girl.
Can't wait to tell Cody that story.
That's my girl. Oh, so much fun.
Your panel that you just did here at the Expo, you were talking about the CW shows.
Mm-hmm.
I found you on Twitter. We subscribed from our podcast, the Cody Flash Mob. So I kind of want to talk about a little bit right now about your thoughts on Flash so far, and then move into the other shows like Arrow
Okay, cool.
and Legends of Tomorrow.
So, I love genre TV. I mean, I love TV. Like, I'm probably on the wrong side of television because I do like local news. But the other side of television, I am fascinated by. I have terrible insomnia, so I watch everything. And fall is like my World Series.
Oh, yeah.
I love to sample all the shows. I like to be the guy that knows, oh, you got to watch this. If you like this, you like that. I watch all these British shows. I'm watching Korean soap operas. I mean, I watch everything, man. So when Arrow came on, we were talking about it in the panel. I remember they were like, "Oh, Arrow," and nobody was really excited about it.
Yeah.
And I, because I'm such a nerd, I like to get the pilots whenever I can. So the sales staff upstairs will slip me the pilots so I can
Nice.
watch them because they know I'll start talking about it. And I got the Arrow pilot, and I was like, "This is awesome." And I was like, this is going to be great. And everybody's like, whatever. And we actually have a hallway where they would put CW shows, like they'd blow them up at the
Oh,
first
the
of
posters?
season.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I used to call it the Hall of Canceled Shows because, every third show would be canceled on CW back in the day.
Yeah.
But when Arrow came on, it's like, wait a second, we got something, And then when they decided to spin off The Flash, I was so excited because it's bright. Barry Allen is like what I always imagined I would be if I had those powers. I wouldn't be like brooding, oh, I'm so weird and different. I'd be
Yeah.
like, holy crap, I can run really fast. And then they give me a treadmill and I can go back in time. I would be obnoxious about it. I'd be like,
Yeah.
everywhere I go, I'm like, you need something? Zoom,
Right back.
zip Yeah. And so I was so excited about it. So I said to my friends and stuff, and people watch my show, and I'm like, hey, I'll live tweet it. And we'll do a hashtag Cody Flash Mob, and I'll watch the show with you. Because the problem that's going on right now is that we're taping everything.
Yeah,
which is great.
DVR, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great for time-wise. But for advertisers, we have ratings called Live +1, which is live. You're watching it, and they'll give you like a day to watch it, and you'll
Right.
get credit for it.
Right.
And there's Live +5, and there's Live +7 now, or something crazy. They're starting to adjust to it, but I was like, what if we could get everybody together and watch it together
same
like
time.
we used to?
Yeah.
I mean, Who Shot JR? We all sat
Oh
down
my
and watched
gosh.
it.
To my parent, I remember that. My parents
Yes.
did that.
Everything stopped, and then the next week, everybody's talking about it, And so
Yeah.
we don't get a chance to do that anymore.
Thank
'cause
you,
we're all
Internet.
watching it weird times.
Right.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, okay, we'll do this one show, and it'll be fun. And it was an absolute blast. And so now we're trying to pick, we'll keep doing Flash, but we try to pick another show. So we
Walking
did
Dead,
Crazy
Game of Thrones.
Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, yeah.
And it was so much fun. We were live tweeting that, and Rachel Bloom would tweet with us, and
Oh, that's
and they've
so
been the
cool.
whole staff has been great. They all know that we're doing it, and they play with us and stuff, and so
That's
that's been
awesome.
kind of fun. So that was the idea behind that, was to just to get a big group together, and even though we're not together, we are. We're having conversations, and it's all live going on.
CW is becoming a total DC show. They just picked up Supergirl, right?
Yep.
Did that?
Yep.
So now Monday through Thursday, we get to watch comic book shows
Yeah.
every night. That's awesome.
Yeah,
And,
and
when they
it's-
start crossing over, that's going to be unbelievable.
Like, could you imagine those 4 shows? And they're talking about that they're going to do a big
In-
crossover
in
event.
December,
Yeah,
I think.
it's going to be insane.
Oh my God,
It's gonna be
I
insane.
can't wait.
Yeah, so Supergirl's on Monday, Flash on Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be Arrow, and Thursday is going to be Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, just real quick, what do you think of Legends?
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It was one of those shows like
It's like a mashup.
yeah. And when they first brought out, they said, "Oh, this is going to be a mid-season kind of thing," and they sent the promos around. I made everybody watch it.
Yeah.
Like everybody, it was obnoxious. Like I was like, "You got to see this. This is going to be great. It's going to be robots and time travel." And everybody at work was like, "Why? What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "This is going to be the greatest thing ever." And so it came out, and it was fun, and it's light. In the middle, I kind of lost it for a little bit because I'm so busy. And then yesterday, I had to iron shirts because I'm a big TV star. So, so I've got like this pile of laundry, like you would not believe. So my wife keeps going, "Oh, iron this," you know. And so I watched 8 episodes.
That's
in a row.
that's how you do it.
And
So-
it was so much fun because it's just light enough where, like, if I watch. I love Sons of Anarchy. Okay,
Yes.
I
Oh,
loved
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But
Good
I
show.
cannot watch more than 4 episodes in a row without my brain starting telling me to do bad things.
Kind of like with Breaking Bad, it's the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was the same
yeah.
way with it. It's like I can watch 4 in a row, but after
Like,
that,
okay.
I'm thinking about, making some illegal meth drugs and, in my RV
I need to go
out
kill
back.
somebody.
Yeah. So it was just perfect. Like I zipped through them and it was just so light and fun, and that's what I like about The Flash so much is that it's just fun. It's not too heavy. It's got a little bit more serious this season, but it's not so heavy that it depresses me after I watch like 5.
Right. I think the most important thing that you said was that you're a big TV star and you were ironing your own shirts.
Oh, yes.
Which is bad for me because I hate doing the laundry. So if the lady hears this one, she's gonna be like, the guy on TV is ironing his own damn shirts and you can't
So
even do
why don't
laundry.
you?
Exactly. Well,
So thanks for that one,
Well,
Cody.
that's the beauty part about editing. So we can
Yeah,
edit that
exactly.
out.
We can also preference that I am on Good Day weekends. So I don't know how big the TV star thing is. I do get paid to be on TV, but
There you
I
go.
still have to iron my own clothes.
But still, she's gonna be like the guy who gets paid to be on TV does his own laundry and you can't switch them.
But let me tell you this: this is what you learn. If you volunteer to do the ironing, your wife won't complain that you're watching 8 straight episodes of a goofy television show.
There's a payoff, in
Yeah,
other
there's
words.
a payoff.
So I know you said you started this with the Arrow because that was their big thing before the Flash, and I have to ask you because we've said this on the podcast before, and you'll probably hear it. What's your opinion on the flashbacks?
I think we've done it. I think we don't need to do it anymore. It was the first season. It was cool.
Yeah, it made sense.
Yeah, and the second
First-
season, like
Yeah. First
at
season
this
is-
point, we're gonna have to flash back to what happened like 15 minutes before.
Yeah.
Hey, Felicity, remember that time we went and got those hot dogs? Yeah, that was like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's think about that again. He's got a wig on.
I think I'm almost caught up. I think I'm like 1 episode behind, and I couldn't go back to it because I was so tired of the flashbacks. But now it's towards the end of the season, so I'm like, all right, I got to catch up. The last episode I watched, the flashbacks literally last like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm like,
They're
what the
really
hell?
super
Yeah.
quick.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, just edit it out.
Yeah, just take it out because, like, at this point in time, you're just like you're trying to find what's going on now and telling a secondary story in 15-second increments.
Yeah.
Well, they'd have to finish the flashbacks. We talked about this by next year because he was only on that island 5 years, and we're almost 5 seasons in. So they got to stop
You gotta stop.
at some point.
But he's come back to the city like 4 times already. Like, he checked his mail. He went to go get his mail at the forwarding address already. Went back to the island.
That's true. That's so true. And then they said this season it was going to be lighter, and then they dropped a nuclear bomb in a small town. And I was like,
That's
whoa.
DC's version of lighter.
Yeah.
It really
Exactly.
is.
They
really
kill
is.
they kill Black Canary, which would be the 5th person that comes back later.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yeah,
get a bloodlust. Like,
The whole nuclear bomb thing, I just can't get over with. I was like,
Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
thought you were going lighter, man. Oh.
yeah, they only killed 10,000 people
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of
Millions.
what
They
would
took
have
out
happened.
Dixon. That's what they did.
Yeah,
They took out
exactly.
Dixon. Thanks a lot.
So going back to your background, jumping back a little bit.
A flashback.
Flashback.
Yeah, this is a flashback. This is my Arrow flashback that is going to last longer than 15
I'm
seconds.
now wearing a wig. A mullet.
Sideburns.
Yeah, sideburns and a
You're,
mullet.
picture
And
yourself.
you got your accent back.
Picture yourself in London. So I went on your IMDb page.
I have an IMDb page?
Yeah, you
Whoa,
do.
okay.
and I found something, and I don't know if this is actually true, but did you do something called the new Hoosier Millionaire?
I did. I did. Yes. Okay. So Hoosier Millionaire is like the big spin here. So it's a statewide lottery game show. And it was one of those scratcher off things. And they did it for like 15 years or maybe 12 years. And then my station bought the station, and so my GM was talking to them and didn't want to pay as much money for what they were paying. They would make like gobs of money hosting this thing. This guy, Mark Patrick, very funny guy, and he was hosting and stuff. And then one day my boss came up to me and said, "Oh yeah, you're going to do it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then of course it was me and Kat Sadler and a guy named Tony, and Tony was like the voice announcer. You go, and coming up, Cody Stark and Kat Sadler with blah blah, and somehow they worked it out so all three of us got paid exactly the same, right? All right, so Tony had like a script. I'm sorry, the thing. He had a script, and he would read up the script, and then Kat, who's now on E, she's like a big star on E.
Nice.
She would do this. And she would clap. That was basically what she would do.
And she got paid
Cody.
just as equal. So that's
Exactly.
Equal pay, okay.
Now, I'm from Alabama. This is all taped live. This is like $1 million somebody could win. I had to do the math in my head while trying to host a show and be pleasant and congenial, all right? This was a very difficult job. So I'm like sweating it out, and then we'd get done and she'd clap. And Tony would go, "Good night, everybody." And then I would pass out. So I did that I hosted a show like Good Day there, and then I did that Hoosiers show for I think a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny because it was like a game show for people that didn't have to know anything at all. So they would scratch off a ticket, and then they would show up, and there's like 6 people, and then I would try to find, I'd go pre-interview them and try to find something to, write a little joke about whatever, and then we would play this game, and they had a big board of 1 through 16.
Okay.
And they could pick a number. And then after like a round, you'd see who had won the most money. So behind the 1 would be a certain dollar amount. It was all, something like that. So I would interview people like, "Mary, how you doing?" "I'm fine." It's like, "Okay, Mary, what number would you like?" She goes, "Well, I was born on March 1st, and my husband was born on June 3rd, so I'm going to go with 21. And then Kat would go, and I'd go,
Cha-ching.
"Great strategy, let's go." And we'd turn around and see how much money, And at the end of it, they could win $1 million.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. They're doing it again now.
Did anyone win $1 million though?
Good Lord, yes. Like a lot of people, and at one point there was like 15 winners in a row.
Oh my God.
And then they came to like Lottery Commission, bless their hearts, came to me and like, too many people are winning.
Really, dude?
And I was like, I have nothing to do with this.
What are the odds?
Talk to Kat. She's not busy right now. Talk to her. She clapped. But
she goes, ha ha ha.
yeah, so I ended up moving out here, and then I think Mark Patrick's doing it again.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot
So
of fun.
there's actual YouTube video on it.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Man. Am I sweating? Trying to do math in my head.
Who's your millionaire? Well, so tell me, what's your so you can plug your stuff, the website that you're on, and also your Twitter feed.
I am at TV Cody. That's my Twitter feed.
Okay.
And then I guess gooddaysacramento.com. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good Day Sacramento. That's the channel that you're on,
Yeah.
or the news show.
And again, his hashtag for the Flash Live tweet is hashtag Cody Flash Mob.
Yes. I know, but definitely we're gonna have to get in on that because we watch Flash. We watch it religiously. It's our
please
favorite
do.
show.
It's so much fun, and it's amazing. Like, there's so many people doing it, and the conversations that are going on while we're watching
That's
the
awesome.
show, and then somebody will see an Easter egg that I didn't see. Oh my God!
Oh my God! You got to see that. Rewind it. Do you have anything that you want to plug on the podcast? Anything?
No. I like
This
what
is
you guys
free
are doing, though.
advertising.
Yeah.
For the love of God, watch me on TV. I honestly, I think podcasting is so great. I mean, when I sat down and started talking to you guys about this, to me, you can have an actual conversation with somebody.
Right.
Absolutely.
Whereas if I turn in a piece at work and it's over a minute and a half, they're like, "Whoa, that's a little long. But
Easy, baby.
yeah. And then like this, we
Pump
just
the
sat
brakes.
down and we had a great conversation, And that's
Yeah,
the thing about
absolutely.
podcasting. You can get to the meat of stuff and you can talk to somebody and I really am jealous of that. Every time I start talking about doing a podcast and I look at my schedule and I'm like, there is no way I could fit another project in. But I tried to do something for the 20th anniversary of the show.
Oh,
and I
right,
did
right
like
on.
5 or 6 podcasts for that. It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
I had the first director of Good Day Sacramento, 20 years on. He was so funny. Kevin Moline's his name. Very nice guy. And at the end of it, I said, okay, let's pretend that the first episode of Good Day is wrapping up. How would you call that? And so he did. He did the whole thing. He's like, camera 2, focus in on this.
Nice.
Okay, and roll the break. Da-da-da. It was so great. It was so great, but I love podcasting.
I don't think you should be too jealous of podcasting because we don't get paid for any of this.
Yeah, I
And
know,
nothing.
that's the problem.
And we still have to iron our shirts.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, that's the problem. We
No
gotta get you
cream, no
paid.
cream candy for us.
I mean, we're negative in the hole, and we're actually still giving stuff away to charity.
But I mean, that's what we love it though. It's so much fun.
But look
you
how
know?
much fun you're having.
But,
I
you know-
know, and you need to we got to figure out how to monetize this. And I'm sure you
I
guys
think
talk
it's
about this all
advertising.
the time.
Advertising.
Yeah.
It's just about getting as many subscribers as you can. Like our favorite podcasts are like the Nerdist and anything, pretty much Kevin Smith stuff. And there's several podcasts out there that just, I mean, they're making bank because they're just so much advertising.
Right.
But yeah, it's minimal. It's not. There's not many out there that make a ton of money. But once they
But
figure
the
they
fact
crack
that
that
you guys
code,
are doing that locally, and that's the part of the
Yeah.
equation we got to figure out, because a great local podcast like y'all's is like you guys are really talking to people in the community.
yeah, absolutely.
And this nerd community that's so great. I mean, like when this here every year, this Intergalactic Fest, this is, I guess, what, the 5th one they've done?
I think so.
I come out every year, and it's like Thanksgiving. Man, I know
Yeah.
everybody here.
That's fun.
And then Wizard World, same thing. You know,
Yeah.
I know everybody's dressed up, and I know everybody. It's just so much fun because it's such a great community that's into this stuff.
Well, we've been best friends since like 2005. We actually met at a Star Wars convention where everyone's like-minded because we just love Star Wars. But we've been having these conversations for years. And it wasn't until just a few months ago we're like, let's start recording this. Like, what are we doing? So we actually still have conversations outside of the podcast that I'm like, damn it, I wish we recorded that. Because some of it's hysterical, But like, oh, dude, can you
Save it for the
remember that
podcast.
on Thursday when we record? Of
Yeah,
course we don't.
we've done that too when we watch a movie. When a movie comes out, because we do this thing where we have a top 10 list from the beginning of the season of the summer movies coming out. We watch the movie, and we're like,
Don't talk to each other
Yeah.
until we got to do the
Right,
podcast.
right.
we just say yes or no to each other, and then we shut up until we can record on a Thursday night.
So, buddy of mine is the executive producer of First Take on ESPN.
Oh,
I don't know if you
wow.
know, like with Stephen A. Smith and Chip Bailey.
Chip Bailey, yeah.
And so he's in charge of the show. And I said, well, how do you guys do it? Because it's all about conversation.
Right.
And it's that way. They're like, hey, let's not speak to each other. Like, you have an idea, I got an idea, and they start to talk, and he's like, no, don't talk. So you gotta hold back,
hold back.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
happens
hard
to that happens to us a lot now, and it took us a while to kind of get. It was weird. We wanted just to record our conversations and that be the podcast. But our first 4 or 5 episodes, it's not us.
Oh, really?
We're so polite.
Uh-huh.
we're so worried about what we're saying that it didn't sound like us, because when we have normal conversations, like you're saying, just shit flies out of your mouth,
Right.
like just whatever. And that wasn't us. And it took about maybe episode 5 or
7
6
episodes, yeah.
to try to really find our groove. And what's funny, when we say find our groove, it was like be yourself.
Yeah.
And you're on TV, like it's something when you first
that's
start.
the hardest thing. Like a new reporter, new anchor, new whatever it is they call it finding your voice.
Right.
Like who are you? And like you start off and you talk like this,
Like a
'cause you think,
salesperson, yeah.
Like you gotta read the thing, and then eventually you figure out who you are.
Yeah.
Start talking like you.
Yeah, we almost want to preface our listeners, like, or anybody that we talk to subscribe and say, you can skip the first 4 episodes. Kind of,
They're long.
Yeah,
It's all about
first,
Star Wars.
Yeah, the
There's
first
like 3
episode was
or-
broken into 3 parts,
Uh-huh.
and it was almost like a 3-hour review of the Force Awakens. And one of my friends who posts a podcast for us is like, you do realize you podcasted longer than the actual movie itself.
JJ's like, boys, wrap it up.
Wrap it up, come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a problem if you don't have a producer.
Yeah.
Nobody was saying, like, you guys need to
Right,
stop.
You need to stop.
You guys need to stop. The guy who's recording you guys is falling asleep. We're done.
Well, our
So-
show is 5.5 hours long during the week.
Oh, really?
It starts at 4:30 in the morning. I'm gonna be on it tomorrow, but I like to say the first hour. You can sleep through that. I get a lot better after that. I know what you're saying.
There you
Yeah.
can see the coffee's starting to kick in at 5:30. So we're going to do what we call the big finish, what we do for all our interviewers,
Okay.
all of like 3 that we've done so far. Okay, so your all-time favorite character from any genre.
From any genre.
Any genre.
Favorite character has got. Oh my God, that's such a hard question.
That's a tough question. Mostly people like to do like what's recent. They know what's like recent, but
Okay. Well, can I peek at the rest of them because I don't want to give this away. If that's is it favorite movie on there or anything like that?
no,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know.
All right. Tim Robbins from Hudsucker Proxy.
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's actually a really
Hudsucker
good one.
Proxy.
That's an interesting one.
It's my favorite movie, and he's walking around with his piece of paper. It's got a circle on it, and he's just like showing it to people. He's all excited, and he goes, "It's for kids," And I just love his like enthusiasm for, and it ends up being the Hulu. And it's just like to me, I love that character. He kind of loses his faith for a bit, but he catches it at the end. I could watch that movie every day for the rest of my life.
So who would win in a fight, Tim Robbins or the dude from The Big Lebowski?
Probably Tim Robbins because the dude would just eventually just give up. He'd just be like,
He'd be like, "Why you-"
Oh man, that's
He'd probably be like, why are you punching me, man?
Yeah, man. I get it. It's for kids. Got it, man.
So I think I kind of already know the answer to this, but I guess what else are you watching on TV right now besides the things that we talked about? Whether it's recorded or on a DVR.
Okay. Do you want the list?
Sure.
Are you sure?
just name a few of them.
Are you positive?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Threesome.
He's gonna
on
go.
Hulu.
He's gonna go alphabetic like John Travolta on Phenomenon.
I love you guys. I like getting these references. This is great. Okay, so it's called Threesome. It's on Hulu right now. It's a British sitcom. A guy and his girlfriend have a gay roommate, and they do some drugs. They're hanging out and everything. And they're just like completely horrible people. I mean, they're fun people, but they're terrible humans.
We gotta watch that.
And they get pregnant. And they don't know whose baby it is.
Oh no!
It's fantastic. It is so funny.
I'm writing that down.
Really good. It's called Threesome. It's on Hulu. I would say, what else am I watching right now? I just got through watching 8 episodes of DC Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Big Orphan Black fan.
Oh, that's a good show.
yeah.
That's on Netflix, I think.
I have no idea how she has not won an Emmy every single
I don't know
year.
either.
Like all the Emmys.
Yeah.
She
She's
should win all the Emmys.
unbelievable.
She's amazing. I really enjoy The 100 on CW. That's one of my favorites. I like that a lot.
That's a good one. My fiance
The
loves that one.
person that makes those people ugly on that show, like if you see the cast out and about or on other interviews, it's the most beautiful people you've ever seen in your whole entire life, and somehow they ugly them up. I feel like the makeup people on that show deserve some sort of award.
But I think that's the premise for the CW. Like every show basically on the CW, you have to basically look like a supermodel in some form.
Except for me. On the CW. Also, Outlander. I love
That's a good
Outlander.
one.
Oh,
I've only
God, I
watched
love
this first season of that. It's pretty good.
So good, so good.
What was that one that we watched on AMC? It's over now. It was
Badlands.
Badlands. Have you seen that one?
Badlands was good. That
I
was good
loved
stuff.
that one.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that
coming
show.
back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope so, because I loved it. It was
Also,
great.
did you guys watch Lucifer on Fox?
Yes. I dug that.
I loved it.
Really super good.
I loved it. The way that, because the cop that he was working with, and they never, I thought it was great because he was Lucifer and he didn't pretend to be somebody else. He's like, no, I'm the devil. And the cop that he was working with was the only person that he couldn't charm the pants off of.
Right,
like,
right.
Literally. But he would say the word detective like he was hungry and she was a filet mignon. Like
That's
every
right.
time he goes, detective.
Detective.
Like that. I was like, ooh, it's getting hot here. So good. I love
No,
it.
it was a good show. It's a good show. Those are good.
What other things that do you have one other than like the Flash where you're just like I have to watch it right now?
My must-watch right now. I think Containment. Did you guys watch that?
Oh, no, I
I
did
haven't
not see
seen
that.
but they every time I watch Fear of the Walking Dead, they're advertising that.
It's pretty good. It's a limited run series, so I kind of like that. It's going to
Yeah.
end. And then Fear of the Walking Dead. That's been must-watch for me.
Yeah.
And I've actually enjoyed this season of Fear the Walking Dead more than the
I
last
have.
season.
First
of Walking
season
Dead.
was really tough to watch.
Yeah.
But this season
is-
they're really kicking it into gear.
Yeah, it was great. Dude.
There's some good stuff going
You
on. I
had
think
floaters. You didn't
is
have
it
walkers, you had floaters, man.
I know a plane crash, and now they're like people are just walking out to the beach,
Oh,
and
so
pretty cool
good.
imagery on that. But is tonight's the season finale? Isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch that tonight. Game of Thrones? You watch Game of
Oh,
Thrones?
of course.
Yeah, that's.
But I don't watch that on everybody else's schedule.
Oh, okay.
I watch that at neighbor Bonnie's schedule. So my neighbor next door and her husband Jack are both retired. So she cooks. My wife's a vegetarian, so she'll make bacon. And I sneak over there. We have some bacon. And we watch Walking.
Would you
we watch
iron my
that.
shirts? Do you have any cream candy over
Yeah,
here?
exactly. Put over the fence. So we watch that Game of Thrones together, and so we
Nice.
always wait until it's their schedules and my schedules mesh and stuff, which
Okay.
is hard. Stupid internet. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Give me a week.
I know when something major happens on Game of Thrones.
Don't go on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, spoilers for this if you haven't watched the Red Wedding episode, but in that week that episode aired, the Red Wedding episode on Game of Thrones.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
If you're gonna
spoilers.
spoil it.
Somebody posted a picture and tagged. I'm not even friends with this person. Tagged my friend on Facebook so that I saw it on my wall, and I'm like, she wrote in there like something like, I didn't want to spoil it for any of your friends, and not realizing how Facebook works when you tag
Right.
somebody in it. And it showed up on my wall. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you serious right now?
Now the nice part about having insomnia, working at 1:30 in the morning, and being flat out exhausted every day is that people spoil stuff for me all the time, and I'm so tired I forget.
Listen, the worst thing that ever happened to me, I just got the Half-Blood Prince Harry Potter book, okay? And usually I'd get those books and I'd read them in a day because I didn't want to know any spoils or anything. I have the book, I'm reading it all day. My friend comes over, actually, she knocks on the door. I open the door. She walks in. She's wearing a T-shirt that says Dumbledore dies on page 691. And I was like,
What?
I hate you. I was like on page 500 and something. I was so mad. She did it on purpose. She thought it was funny.
That
and
is
I
the
was
worst thing I've
furious.
ever heard in my whole
I
entire
put
life.
that book down for like 2 months, didn't read it. I just refused to read it for a while.
That
That
reminds
just
me
broke
of
then I
my
picked it
heart.
back
That
up.
just broke my heart for
Yeah.
you. It really did.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that Simpsons episode where Homer walks out of Empire Strikes Back, and he's
Yes.
like, "I can't believe Darth Vader was Luke's father the whole time."
And everyone in line's all, ugh.
So when Star Wars Force Awakens,
Yeah.
was at the theaters, of course they send me out because I'm your resident nerd. They were like, okay, we'll send me out. So I'm out there, I'm all dressed up and stuff, and I'm at the IMAX theater, and we had a special deal. We had a contest, and we invited these people in. So we watched them go in, and then the guy that runs the place, I can't remember his name. He's a super
Wait.
nice guy.
Were you there opening night?
Yes,
We were
too.
there. 7 o'clock Thursday?
yes.
We were there.
We were there.
So we had the contest. They spent the night there. Doug Link, that's his name.
Doug,
Doug
okay.
Link, super nice guy. So he said, "Hey, we saved a couple seats for you and your photon, so you guys can watch it." We're like, "Oh my God, this is great!" So we send the people in. They get to watch it. And they save me a couple seats, and I'm sitting there, and then the producers get in my ear. I'm like 30 seconds in, right? Hey, we need you to come out and do some teasers. and
No.
you son of a. So I'm like,
You're always working.
damn it. So I go out, and I'm doing my live shots, and they're like, you can come back in. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that.
No,
I don't
right.
want to
Yeah,
get up
yeah.
every 10 minutes and ruin it for everybody. But my fear was these people are coming out of the theater.
They're going to be
and as you know,
talking to you.
there's people lined up. And everybody wanted to tell me how their experience was. And I wanted them to share, but I'm so
No spoilers.
spoiler-centric. I'm like, no, I don't want to spoil it,
Yeah.
So how was it? It was great, right? And they're like, yeah, it's great. That part, no.
His son walks out of the theater, and says something to the effect of like, "I can't believe Rey's a Jedi." I'm like, "Shut up!"
He did.
I'm like,
He was
"Shut
just
up!"
being a kid. He's just like, oh my God, Dad, I can't believe that Rey was
Right
a
next to
Jedi.
the people that are waiting in line. Right next to the people that are
I was
waiting in
like,
line.
I was
No,
like,
no.
son, people get shanked for less than that. I'm like, let's get out of here quick.
People, he knows not what he says.
Yeah.
He's a small child.
If I heard that online, oh my God. All mannerisms would have just went out the door, and you would have had to have run as fast as you possibly could.
That's when you wish they had the flashy thing from Men in Black. So you forget this boom, it's gone.
Right here.
I'm gonna go watch Star Wars again, honey.
All right, so the final question we have for you
Okay.
is the top 3 movies of all time.
Top 3
For you,
movies.
what's your top 3?
For me personally,
Yes.
of all time.
Yeah. That's another difficult one. It always changes, I'd assume, but
I can do this. I mean, I've already told you, Hudsucker Proxy is my favorite movie of
there
all
you
time.
go. Number 1.
Maybe you and I are the only people who have seen it. When I say this, people
Oh,
are
I
like,
love that movie.
It's a terrible title, but it is Coen Brothers film, so it's going to be entertaining.
Absolutely.
Absolute favorite is that one. I'd say second favorite would have to be original Star Wars. Saw it when I was 7. I see the whole numbering them. I'm confused about to this day. To me, that was episode 1, but it was episode 3 or whatever.
I agree.
Or 4 or whatever. And then I would say after that, Fight Club.
Oh, right on.
Nice.
Yeah. So here's
Such a
something
really
weird.
good book, too.
Is that I've read the book. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've read all of Chuck's books. I also read a lot. I'm telling you, I get maybe 3 hours of sleep a night.
Oh,
One day
wow.
I'm just going to die. And you guys are like, oh, yeah. You
Well, at
just
least
never
we got to
slept."
interview him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we recorded that guy.
So I get really bad migraines, right? Really bad migraines. Probably has something to do with me not sleeping. I don't know. But for some reason, Fight Club makes me feel better when I have a migraine. So when you have a migraine, like any kind of light or sound just feels like, like a railroad spike being driven through the side
Yeah.
of your temple. It was just awful. So I put on something that I can loop, something that I've seen it so many times and stuff. And that movie is Fight Club.
Yeah.
And one day I'm going to meet Chuck, and I'm going to say, Chuck, thank you for helping with my
Get rid
migraines, man.
It's
And
like
he's
one of the most violent
yeah,
films.
it's so weird that
Thank
that's
you,
the
Saving
movie.
Private Ryan, for helping me out through my nightmares.
Yeah, it's so weird, but it's so true. I mean, for some reason, it helps me get through a migraine.
I just pictured walking through like a CVS or Walgreens, and then seeing like Excedrin, Tylenol, Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Extra strength Fight Club. Little extra Brad Pitt in there.
Yeah.
And some soap.
So we have a parting gift for you.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah.
excellent.
So we do these. We're obviously big nerds, and so are you. So we do collecting, and we have a one of a kind first edition, Chew approved action figure for you from
Okay.
the Flash. So it's a king shark. It's a king shark.
No.
It's a king shark. One of a kind.
That is awesome. Look at his little legs. I'm looking at the box right. Like I'm showing it to the microphone.
That's right.
I'm dumb.
So we
You
like
have to describe it
yeah,
to
you
the
have
audience.
You have
Okay,
to let.
so it
Some
is-
assembly required,
it's
I
a
think.
rubber shark with a little crown, a pink crown, and some arms and legs, so I can assemble it myself. That is fantastic. I will put this in a place of honor on my desk.
Make sure you
Awesome.
do, and don't leave it in your car because that crown is made out of wax and it'll melt.
Right.
We were talking to the panel in there. They asked me, "What's your favorite villain on the Flash?" I'm like, "King Shark." Hello,
Dude, I mean, when they showed that, I was like, are you kidding me? Like Grog and King Shark.
Yes.
I couldn't believe. I thought never in my lifetime I'd ever see that.
No.
It was awesome. I can't wait
No.
to go to Gorilla City. I can't
Oh.
wait till they do that.
Like 8-year-old Cody lost his mind with King Shark. Thank you so much for this. This is
Explosions.
amazing.
Cody, thank you very,
Thank
very
you
much.
so much for being
taking
on.
Limited
time out of your
edition figure
busy life.
1 of 1.
What?
It says on it.
There's no other one in existence. I guarantee
I
it.
seriously was not joking about leaving it in your car. That crown will melt.
This was so much fun. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
And,
We
and
appreciate
keep me
it.
up, when you guys got a cool podcast you're really proud of.
Oh, yeah.
Let me know, and I'll
Yeah, we'll
talk about
do.
it on the TV.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Absolutely. I mean, definitely take the information when you go. And
Okay.
well, I have to do this again too. I'm sure there's other stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I'm your
Working
guy.
on it.
I'm your guy. This is fun.
There's a lot of
It
fun.
was fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody, so much.